My name is Jeff Wilson. By day, I invest in tech companies, and at night, I invest in sports cards. Join me on my journey to profit from the hobby we all love. Hello, sports card investors, and welcome to another episode. Are you ready to learn today about what might be the best investment opportunity in all of the sports card industry? It is potentially the sleeping giant of the sports card industry. And I am talking about soccer cards. Soccer cards could be the next big thing, but we are just at the beginning stage of soccer cards in America. As a sports card investor, this means that there could be tremendous opportunity for you to get involved in soccer cards now and profit from the rise in popularity of soccer cards in the years to come, assuming that actually takes place. I'm excited about soccer cards, and I'm excited about where the market is going to go. I'm going to begin investing in soccer cards, and I wanted to take today's episode to set the landscape for soccer cards. This is the episode that will teach you all of the basics you need to know to understand the soccer card world in America. And it is not just this episode that's going to teach you that. I also today posted to sportscardinvestor.com a brand new article called The Case for Soccer Cards. It is by Patrick Neely. Patrick Neely watches the show and submitted an article through our article submission program about the case for soccer cards. It is a great article that complements this video very, very well. Patrick makes the case for why he thinks soccer cards could be a good investment, but also gives you things to think about, things to watch out for. It's a nice perspective on soccer card investing. So go to sportscardinvestor.com as soon as this episode is over. Check out that article, leave a comment on that article. And another great place to talk about that article and to talk about everything you're going to learn today, we have a soccer card channel in my Discord chat server. If you are thinking about buying soccer cards, if you are thinking about investing in soccer cards, join the soccer card channel in my Discord chat server. To get to my Discord chat server, it's completely free. Go to sportscardinvestor.com, click Discord chat in the main menu bar. When you log into Discord, on the left is all the channels you can choose from. Choose the soccer card channel. And there will be conversation in there about soccer cards. There's some really enthusiastic people. I'd like to see that channel grow. So please join, ask questions, be part of the soccer card community, this growing, exciting community. Let's get to the episode today, this discussion about soccer cards. So I brought in, for today's episode, I brought in a premier expert on soccer cards. This guy's name is Austin Brown, and he is one of the largest breakers of soccer cards in the United States. And yes, there are breakers who specialize in soccer cards. Austin is one of those breakers who specializes in soccer cards. And not only is he one of them, but he is one of the biggest in the United States. He happens to be based here in Atlanta. He's affiliated, partnered with Joe Davis from GotBaseballCards.com, who you've seen on some previous episodes, my favorite local card shop owner who I buy a lot of my cards from. And so Austin works with Joe, and they run this online soccer breaking network. They do it out of a Facebook group called US Soccer Breaks. And it would be great for you to join the US Soccer Breaks Facebook group, because that is where Austin and his team are talking about soccer cards. They're announcing their upcoming soccer card breaks. It's a really nice community. So check out US Soccer Breaks on Facebook. So this conversation with Austin, we are going to talk about the different types of soccer cards, the different sets of soccer cards, what rookie cards are like in the soccer card world. And that's an interesting discussion because it is a little bit different, especially how rookie cards have been treated in the past few years is a little bit different than the US major sports. So you're going to learn something there that's really important. We talk about the importance of on-card autographs, which is also different, a little bit different than the American sports. So there's definitely some nuances to soccer card investing that you are going to want to listen to this whole episode to be able to take in. So the first 6 minutes of my interview with Austin, which you're about to hear, he talks about his entrepreneurial journey. How did he become one of the top breakers of soccer cards in America, to the point where recently he has now made this his full-time job? So that is an interesting story to listen to, because it's been a journey over the last few years for him leading up to this becoming his full-time job. So he talks about that for the first 6 minutes. I think there's some interesting entrepreneurial takeaways there. And then we get into talking about the sets and the cards and the manufacturers and the players and all that kind of stuff that you're going to want to know. So let's go. Here we go for my interview with Austin Brown, U.S. Soccer Breaks. Austin, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Yeah, the audience is excited to hear this today. So you're one of the pioneers of soccer card breaking in the U.S.
Yes, sir, we are. Joe and I got baseball cards. I got into the soccer about 5 years ago, especially in 2014 when FIFA World Cup was here and Argentina made their incredible run. And it's been truly incredible. It's an incredible story, actually. I got into the groups. I started getting heavy into the soccer trading cards, and basically, I just started doing deals with people. Started really buying the soccer cards, coming to gotbaseballcards.com, purchasing soccer cards, and I really didn't even know they made soccer cards. And I was very intrigued by that, and I was very interested by it. And I got to know many people through all over the world. And my great friend of mine, Harold Bussuin, friend in France, introduced me to my first ever breaking soccer group. And that was Soccer Breakers FC, really the pioneer and the home of soccer breaks, the number one soccer breaker in the world currently, Soccer Breakers FC, Cyrus. And he introduced me to that group, and ever since I've really been heavily active in the breaks, and I got to really know people. Was breaking in the breaks, participating in the breaks for 3-4 years, and really got to know people and got to create a great relationship with Cyrus as well, among other people. And after really being heavily active in the Facebook groups and so on, we basically, I was great friends with Joe Davis, gotbaseballcards.com, and basically I went to him, and I said, I think there's some opportunity here. I think we might want to try it. And we basically were doing breaks here and there, but we started to go live every Saturday and really push the breaks. And I'll never forget the first time Joe asked me, it was a Thursday or Friday, he said, "Hey man, just what do you think about going live this weekend? Get some of your buddies, talk to some of your buddies, let them know that we're going to be doing a break, and see if they want to participate." And I was like, okay, we'll do it. And I got with some people and talked to them and asked if they wanted to participate in the break this weekend, and they were all for it. And we ended up going live that Saturday, and we ended up doing $1,200 in sales. So it was very successful, and from that point, we started to slowly every Saturday we would go live and do personal boxes for people, and then slowly we evolved into doing pick your team breaks, PYT breaks, and that really started to work out for us, and so it was going really good. We were we were a small guy just starting out and trying to get our feet wet in the breaks, because Joe had never done any kind of breaking whatsoever.
And what year was this?
This was around 2015.
Okay.
2000.
So about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And and he never did it, and it was something good, and obviously me purchasing from Joe had gone down because I was getting in these breaks so much, and it was consuming a lot of my extra money that I was spending at the time. And so we saw an opportunity there, and so it went really well, over time. And we were approached about a year ago by our great partner and friend Tony Farina out of Connecticut, and he had built a significant following, about a 400 member group following, and it was really geared around soccer. And he got really big in a short period of time, and he approached us to partner up. And at first, it's pretty crazy actually when I go back and I think about it, because at first, I kind of blew him off, and he kept coming to me and he kept saying, "Hey, it's getting too much for me. Is there any way we can possibly work something out? And I blew him off the first time. He came back to me the second time. And then finally the third time is when he told me, it was getting kind of much for him. And I said, okay, I'll talk to Joe. We'll talk to Joe, see what he says. And pretty much the rest is history. We've been active in the group now for about a year. And we've been doing PYT breaks pretty constantly. We've been doing, on average, from the data, we've been doing about 5 or 6 per week since, for the past 3 or 4 months. Mm-hmm. So that's been really good. And then also too, we actually came in second as far as total cases of Immaculate soccer broken this year, and then also to Imminent soccer, which was the $8,000 retail case, high-end soccer. And so we were pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
So.
And you're doing this full time now, right?
Absolutely.
Just as of recently.
About 4 months ago, I actually transitioned from my big corporate executive job and came to do the soccer breaks full time now.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm very excited about it, and I look forward to my new career in this industry.
So this is actually a great entrepreneurial story for anybody out there who's thinking about, I want to get more involved in cards, but I've got another job. So in your case, you really formed a relationship with a local card store owner, and you guys kind of formed a partnership. He let you start kind of breaking on the side, on weekends, that kind of thing.
Yes, sir.
And then you found this other guy who had this Facebook group, and kind of a greater partnership was born, because you could essentially take the members of the Facebook group and advertise the breaks to them, and it's grown
absolutely
to the point where it's now turned into a full-time venture for you and the local shop owner, Joe.
Yep, and we started out with around 400 members when Tony had it going, and now we're up as of this morning to 892.
892. Let's get this guy over 1,000 members in his Facebook group. What's the name of the Facebook group?
It's called U.S. Soccer Breaks.
U.S. Soccer Breaks, and I will put the link to the Facebook group in the show notes of this show. So go join U.S. Soccer Breaks. Let's get him over 1,000 members. Awesome entrepreneurial story, Austin. We have a lot to dive into today. We want to learn everything we can learn about soccer cards. So This is going to be an awesome episode. There's a lot of interest in the hobby about soccer cards and soccer card investing. So let's set the landscape a little bit for us. Tell us about the manufacturers. Is it Topps? Is it Panini? Who plays in the soccer card space?
Well, really, you got Panini and Topps.
Okay.
Panini is probably the premier, the gold standard. They've really got their stuff together when it comes to soccer. You got Topps, and then you also have Futera.
Okay.
Futera trading cards. They've been in the soccer game for quite a while now, and some collectors really like their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They have really good quality stuff, but Panini, Topps, and Futera really are the main ones.
Now, obviously in the sports of like baseball and football and basketball and hockey, you've got exclusives with different manufacturers.
Correct.
Is that the case in soccer?
Yes, you do have some exclusives. As of the past couple of years, Topps has had the exclusive rights to UEFA Champions League, which is a huge league that encompasses all leagues around the world, the top 5 leagues, and other leagues as well. But they had the exclusive rights for a couple of years for UEFA Champions League, and then also too they have the exclusive rights for Bundesliga, which is also the German league. So yeah, they do have those exclusive rights. I think Panini is in the process of getting the UEFA Champions League license as well. I don't know if they're quite there yet, but I think we're going to see that in the near future as well. So.
Now, what does Panini have exclusive rights to anything at this moment?
Not really. Soccer is a little different.
Okay.
It's a little bit more complex. You got so many countries, so many teams. So really, the clubs, they can kind of do it at their leisure, how they see fit.
Gotcha.
They don't really sign an exclusive with anybody, really, honestly, because Topps is playing in it a little bit, Futera is playing in it a little bit, and Panini as well. But Panini kind of sets the standard.
So Panini, do you break the most Panini?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Panini is
pretty much all Panini.
So Panini is what you look to most often when it comes to breaking and buying soccer cards, it seems. Okay. Yep. So tell us a little bit about the market in general. So obviously, you have seen the market increase with your own business breaking cards over the last 5 years. How have you seen the market in the U.S. and then also international change in recent years?
I mean, I think it's changed drastically. I mean, we have so many more people that are getting into soccer now, whether it be breakers, groups, all over the world. I mean, it has grown substantially in just the 5 years that I've been and experienced it. So I think there's tremendous potential there. And like I've mentioned, we're really only in our infancy, soccer, as a hobby, so to speak. So there's tons of potential, and it's grown vastly.
Yeah.
And really the manufacturers are still trying to figure out, what are good sets that we can do and recreate year after year. So really, they're still just, still a test trial, really, so to speak.
Yeah, this is a really interesting time then for soccer.
It really is.
Yeah, you're like right at the beginning of something, which from an investor standpoint, that can be a really attractive time to get in, because if it's able to follow the same growth curve that as other sports and rise in popularity year over year, there could be a lot of money to be made with investing today.
Totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Really interesting. Okay. And U.S. versus international, I'm just curious, how does your business break down? Are you seeing, is it mainly U.S. folks in your breaks? Is it a lot of international folks in your breaks?
It's a lot of international.
Okay.
A lot of international. It's a mix, but primarily is the majority international.
Okay.
And it's just huge. Soccer's huge globally, and I think it's going to continue to make headway. And especially in America, when it really takes off in America, I think we're going to see a surge, especially here.
Has the growth of the MLS in America contributed to the growth of soccer card popularity?
I don't know soccer cards specifically, but soccer, yes.
Soccer, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
and which is ultimately going to help that. I think it has. Yeah.
Now we're going to go through the sets in a minute.
Yeah.
Are there MLS sets?
Yes, there are. Topps actually, in that set, I think Topps does have exclusive rights to MLS.
Okay.
I'm not certain. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, because Topps is manufacturing the MLS sets.
Okay.
But it's not very attractive to collectors yet, just because they don't have the big names. They recently acquired Zlatan Ibrahimovic this last season, so he's a big name. Mm-hmm. But he's also somebody who hasn't signed yet.
Right.
So it's tough.
So when it comes to breaking, when it comes to investing, most of the activity you're seeing is not MLS players. Most of the activity you're seeing is some of the other, European leagues.
European League, clubs, and then also to your national team cards.
Right.
For the country.
Right.
So.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. Let's talk a little bit about some of the cards, some of the sets in general. So, if you're we actually have a lot of cards here that we're going to show people as we go through, and so I think this would be a good time now. Let's start to talk about some of these cards and what's out there, what's good from an investment standpoint, what people should be paying attention to.
Well, some of the first cards ever, first set ever really produced by Panini America was the 2014 FIFA World Cup Brazil set. It's a very popular set amongst collectors. And the value of the cards are significant, and I think that they will continue to go up. But
and those are Prism brand names, so that Panini's using their popular Prism name that everyone's used to from basketball and football.
Yeah, and this is the premier set. I mean, this really started it all in 2014 with Panini America, and you have a lot of first-time signers in this set, people who had never signed before. Also, too, the low number parallel stuff does extremely well. Very well. So it's a good set, and also too, it only comes out every 4 years.
That one does.
Yes.
Okay.
So it follows the World Cup.
Sure.
So it's a significant set, and all collectors really love to collect this one.
And how did the 2014 World Cup set, first set, popular that Panini was putting out here in America? How did that compare to I assume they put a 2018.
Yes.
And how did that kind of compare in popularity?
I think it was about the same.
Okay.
I mean, we saw a surge. We ended up doing 106 cases of the 2018. So it was very popular. Again, it's the set that people collect. Yeah. So when it comes out, everybody's on it.
So So it's good to know. So we got a World Cup coming up in 2022.
Yep.
So as we have a few years away still, but as we lead up to the World Cup in 2022, there's going to be a lot of hype around that set coming out.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also too, if you may have new teams that qualify for the World Cup, so that it potentially could be their first cards ever.
Yeah.
So that's why, and that's another.
Well, like the U.S.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully, right? We didn't make the last one.
Absolutely, and they still figured out a way to put Christian ballistics in there. But but yeah, it's an incredible set, and collectors worldwide love it. And as far as investment, 2014 would be the set to invest in as far as Prism.
Yeah.
Because it was the very first one.
How have those changed price wise over time from when they first came out to now?
The 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2014 has gone up significantly. I think it went from like a $100 box to like now I think they're going for like 140 to 160.
Okay.
But it even reached levels of 200 per box at one point.
Okay. And that's for sealed wax.
Sealed wax. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a big print run, and it's hard to pull the refractor number to 25 Prism autographs are very popular, and you've seen them increase in value drastically since 2014.
Yeah.
And then the low number of parallels as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So similar maybe to growth we've seen in basketball and that type of thing, where bigger print runs, but making the parallels and the numbered cards all the more valuable and important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And kind of this next set we got here was the first select set. It was kind of the very first patch autograph that they had in soccer. A lot of first-time signers in this one as well. So it's really sought after because of the patch autographs. So
what year was that?
That was 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. So that came along in 2015. And it was very huge. The prices on as they continue to manufacture product and come out with new releases, they kind of did a dip. But I foresee, in the future, those taking a rise back up.
Yep. So. Okay. So first set Panini came out with Prism. Second set they came out with Select.
Was Select was the real popular ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Sure. Cool.
And then the set that really did it all, it was actually the very first high-end set that they came out with.
Set that changed the game.
Was the Panini Flawless.
All right.
And this is actually
beautiful
one of
card.
The most sought-after cards of Lionel Messi, which is the Flawless finishes from the 2016 Flawless set.
Beautiful on-card auto there.
It's a great autograph. And people, and these cards right here are the singles are actually on the way back up. We've seen a rise recently with these because you just can't find this product anymore. And people love it because it was the first true on-card set for soccer, on-card autograph, excuse me, for soccer. So it's a big deal. Yeah. And one thing you'll find as we go through, on-card is a big deal in soccer. On-card's a big deal in soccer, sure. So and that was 2016, you said? This was 2016. So 2016 Flawless on-card. So if we've got some folks listening who are like, you know what, I want to place a bet on soccer. I don't have any cards right now, but let me get in. And on some of these historical cards that might have some significance from recent years, you're looking at 14 Prism as kind of a groundbreaking set, and then 16 Flawless. Yes. Would be two sets to maybe try to get your hands on. Yes. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Excellent. And this, particularly the Flawless and the 2014 World Cup. Right. Like you said, they're really the pioneer of that set, and people are it's gonna continue to go up. Yeah, people they gotta have it. Yeah, these are the cards to have, and it being one of the first sets makes it even that much more sought after. Very neat, very neat. Good. Yeah. And then this is another one that this was actually, for those of you that don't know, Lionel Messi's only match worn ever card that Panini America has ever produced. Lionel Messi does not allow his jerseys to be used, his game worn stuff to be used. He's holding it for a museum. Okay. And so this was actually one of the only cards ever that he has a match worn material on. And that's a Flawless as well. And that's a Flawless as well. So, and just kind of give you an example, this one here I paid $1,800 for. Okay. It'd probably go for around $3,000 now. And that's a 2016 Flawless. So that same set, on-card auto. Yep. And but the unique thing with this card is you'll see it has the swatch of the boot in the card. So it's a boot patch autograph, soul of the game. Wow. So very, very neat. Yeah. Okay, that's a beautiful card. And then the next set that really came along after the Flawless that is truly significant in soccer is going to be your 2016-17 Panini Noir. Okay. And Noir and what's very sought after in NOR is the Spotlight signature set.
Yep.
And this right here is by far, if it's not, it's one or two the most sought after Messi cards there are. This is going to be the Lionel Messi Spotlight signature NOR from the 16-17 NOR set. It is truly an incredible card. First year they did the gold ink, so gold ink.
Beautiful.
People like the gold ink. So just kind of give you an example of this card. I paid $2,500 for it. Recently we had the national, and I had a standing offer. Guy walked up to me and offered me $5,000. So just and I got this about 3 years ago. So it truly is a significant set. I think the Ronaldo closes for around the same 5,000-6,000. They only made 25 of them. So this is a significant set in soccer, and always will be one of the most sought after sets.
So you're showing us a lot of Messi cards here.
Yes.
Is that a personal favorite?
Yeah, and I actually PC Messi.
Okay.
So
there you go.
that's the reason why you're seeing all these Messi cards. So,
and,
but I got them from the particular sets.
Well, and so I assume, like other sports, star power, name power makes a big difference in soccer.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
And Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo are the biggest.
Okay. So those are your guys.
Those are your guys. Okay. And even over the older guys, some of the vintage stuff does well, but when you're talking bringing a premium, it's going to be CR7 and Messi.
Okay. And actually, we got some more cards to show, but before we do, talk about vintage for a second. Like, let's talk, because we're seeing all these cards now that have come out since 2014, all of these releases that have become popular in the U.S., but there is actually a long history of soccer cards.
Yes, there is. There actually is. And actually, it's stickers.
Yeah.
Panini started in 1961. And they have a lot of bases all over the world, specifically in Italy. Italy's a big one. But they do, the vintage is it's an unknown, but people are starting to get into soccer more and more, so you're going to start seeing more vintage come up. But really, vintage in soccer is going to be your stickers, because most majority, of what Panini produced early on was strictly stickers. So a lot of like your Maradona rookie card is going to be a sticker. Your Pele is going to be a sticker. And if you can find those and you really know what you're looking for, you can make some good investments if you can find them. Because they're tough. Yep. And because also too, they're not distributed in America.
Right.
So that makes a whole different ball game.
Right. Right. So prior to 2014, was it mainly stickers?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And because 2014 was really the first, set from Panini America. Topps did a few English Premier League sets back in 2012 and 2013. They did good, but again, Panini is they've really set the bar.
Okay.
Yeah. When it comes to soccer.
From an investment standpoint, have you seen the vintage kind of move as much, or is more of the excitement around the recent years?
Precisely. I mean, it's more around the recent years. I don't see vintage move much. And like I said, it's kind of an unknown. Yeah. You just really got to know what you're doing and specialize in that stuff. And I'm sure there's some opportunity out there with that.
Well, maybe there is. I mean, if it's kind of a sleeping giant, maybe maybe vintage is actually a really good place to look in soccer. If not a lot of people are looking there right now. If the market changes and continues to grow, maybe there's opportunity. But
absolutely.
Well, this modern the modern stuff's exciting. So what else have we got here? What else is significant?
So like the other significant set that there is going to be your 2017-18 Immaculate. This is one of the sets that's really taken off. It was very successful. Another one of your first on-card autograph sets. Lionel Messi. They did have a marquee signature set within this product that was all stickers, but majority of the set was all on card. So that was a big deal. And then also too, everybody just loves the Immaculate sets.
Yeah, Immaculates are nice.
And there's collectors in soccer that specifically collect the Immaculate and nothing else.
Interesting.
So, and then also too, we confirmed at the summit that they're going to recreate Immaculate next year. So this will be the third year in a row that they've done it, and I really think that it's going to be one that sticks around for a long time.
Yeah.
So, which is good.
So you're seeing a lot of the same brands as you see, in Panini basketball and Panini football.
Absolutely. But I feel like they're still trying to test it out, see what people
see what's
like,
going to stick.
See what's going to stick.
Well, it's nuanced. Like for example, what's popular in basketball, is not. It's a little different football and basketball, even though they have a lot of the same sets out there.
Yeah.
Sets that rule in basketball, like a prism. Prism football is popular, but it's nowhere near what it is in basketball. And then of course vice versa, you've got sets in football that haven't really caught, like a Spectra in football. Actually, I think is a pretty great popular set, but in basketball, it's never really caught on.
Yeah.
So I guess they're just trying to figure out what that mix is
exactly
in soccer between all their name brands.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting.
Exactly
Okay. Tell me a little bit now about like what is coming out now. How often do sets come out? I know, for example, Panini Prism just came out with a English Premier League set just within the last few weeks.
Which was their first EPL licensed set.
And that became very popular from what I've seen.
It's very popular currently right now, and the Premier League is popular as well. But yeah, it's really taking a turn because again, Prism.
Yeah.
And in soccer, Prism is the set. So. It being the first EPL is significant, and a lot of people are going to jump on it. Liverpool winning the Champions League last year, and them having cards in it. It's going to be very sought after. So yeah, the new, and then we got more sets coming. We got Obsidian coming, and then we got Gold Standard coming. 2 new sets to soccer. So it's just going to be interesting.
Yeah.
To see.
Really interesting.
Yeah,
very cool.
Very excited.
How often are new sets coming out in soccer? Like, what is our release calendar looking like?
Well, it's getting more and more, because again, I think they're still trying to fill it out and see which sets are going to stick and which ones aren't in the soccer community. And I think, probably, this year we had quite a few. Every other month probably.
Okay.
Every 3 months, I would have to say.
Yeah.
If I had to say.
And you're seeing some of these same sets now being re-released every year. So yeah, and then with
Specifically
new ones
Immaculate,
being added, so it's starting to grow a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, very neat. Let's talk about some of the types of cards within the sets. So you obviously in like with the Prism basketball or football, you're seeing a lot of refractors. You're seeing numbered parallels. Autos. Et cetera. Like are you seeing that same exact thing happening across these different soccer sets?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like even in soccer, you have the Prism.
Yep.
You have the blue. Then you have the red, which are numbered to 199 and 149. Then it goes down to 99. Then it goes to 65.
Okay.
Then it goes to 40.
Okay.
And then it goes to 25, 15, 10, 5, and 1.
And then your 1 and 1.
And your 1 and 1 is black.
And you're black. Okay, so a lot of similarity.
Very similar.
Numbering a little bit different, but a lot of similarity overall to what you see in basketball and football.
Absolutely. Same thing with other products, patch cards.
Yeah, similar to a top, what you see in Topps Chrome, Bowman Chrome, that type of thing in baseball as well. That same type of idea, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. And you've got, as you said, you got autos, some on cards, some sticker. You got patch cards.
Majority sticker in soccer world, obviously, because they're all over the world.
Right.
And, they're not in the United States,
right.
So they have to ship them out and they have to ship them back.
So that makes so is the on card auto even potentially more valuable in soccer then?
Yes.
Okay.
Significantly.
Okay.
So,
because of that reason, they're actually a lot more rare.
This in the soccer world, it's just. The sticker's really not respected that much, but I understand it. But it's just when the collectors and the investors, they want that on card, and the on card is, because a lot of collectors and investors, they want it to be, or collectors specifically, they want that person to hold that card, and that's significant to them.
Well, yeah, and in the American sports, they'll get a lot of the players, especially all the rookies and everything, to come together for a signing day, and everyone's signing. But you made a great point. That in soccer, all of these players distribute all over the world, so they're not able to get them all together.
Correct.
So doing the on-card is probably much more of a challenge, which is why it's much more rare.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
Interesting. Okay. Talk to me about rookie cards. How is that working in soccer? Is there first cards? Are there rookie cards? How does that work in the soccer world?
Actually, there is rookie cards, and actually I brought this one here to show you. 2017-18 Panini Trouble was actually their very first set that they put the RC on the card.
Okay, so some of the earlier sets, they weren't using the RC logo.
Not at all.
Okay.
And then also, so like you take you back to 2016, which is going to be Christian Pulisic's rookie year. As you can see, no RC on the
Interesting.
card. So this is one of his first cards. All of the 2016 products obviously are going to be Christian Pulisic's here. So if he turns out to be pretty good, then those products will go up substantially.
I wonder why they didn't use the rookie card logo, but then started doing it.
I honestly think they were still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think it's just something that again, they were still learning the sport, and and then they came up next, followed up after that with the Donruss Optic Soccer.
Oh, that's
obviously,
a beautiful one.
All of y'all have seen the rated rookie.
Yeah, love the rated rookie symbol.
And the other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's they've really come out and started.
Is that a gold? Is that a number to 10?
Yep,
is that number to 10 just like we see with the gold in the other sports?
That's a Vinicius Jr.
Yeah.
He's actually up and coming.
Beautiful.
Some people think he's going to be really good. So he's a prospect, one that you might want to invest in if you know him.
All right, so we've got Optic and soccer as well. So we got a lot of the major brands: Select, Optic, Flawless, Noir, and of course Prism ruling the day. And so the brands are familiar.
Yep.
Okay, so we got rated rookies now. We've got RC logos. So now are we consistently seeing those on the cards now? Okay.
Yes. Majority of the products that are coming out have them on there.
Right.
And also too, when people that have a big point that's been raised is like, for instance, let me see here. I got one here. Like, you have a few cards, like this one, for instance, was from the EPL. This is a Power Gold, and as you can see, it has the RC on there.
Right.
Now, granted, but this guy he's a 30-year-old player. He's been he's been in the league quite a few years.
Okay.
But I think what that signifies is that this is his first ever Panini America card.
Oh, so now Panini's started to put RCs on the first Panini America, even if it's not an actual, even if the guy's not a rookie.
Correct.
So that's a little bit maybe how they use like the first Bowman 1ST, which is basically signifying, hey, this is the first card we produced to that guy.
Correct.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So a little different than what we see in the American sports, but
absolutely.
Very, very interesting. Okay. Any other types of cards that are significant, different than maybe what you would see in the other sports?
Really, it's just the rookies. Rookies.
Everyone's chasing the rookie cards now.
First-year cards. Much like in other sports, But yeah, it's all about that.
Yeah.
The rookies and the first-year cards, and it's really the big deal in the soccer world.
And I guess more so going forward, because it sounds like you can't really go back and get like a Messi rookie card unless you're going to go get a sticker. Is that right?
Well, actually, no. You can find them, but they're very hard to find.
Yeah.
Messi's rookie card is actually a card. It was made by Panini 04-05 La Liga Mega Cracks set.
So an international set, not in America.
It was exclusively distributed in Europe, Spain specifically, and it was made by, I think, Modena, Italy, Panini. It's very sought after card.
Sure.
Very sought. And the investment grade would be a 9.5. Those would be the ones that you would invest.
Right. And that was though before any sets started coming out in America.
Correct.
So that's a good question. So today, now you've got all of these American brands coming out. Panini America's putting out all of these. Is Panini internationally putting out sets of the same players as well, different sets, like different brands?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like for instance, you take Mbappe's rookie year, 16-17 Panini Foot. So yeah, they are manufacturing exclusive sets for Europe in their individual countries.
Interesting.
As well, yeah. So
if you wanted to really collect a guy, if you wanted to PC one of these newer players and get his rookie cards, you need to both look at all of these American sets, which we're used to from the other sports, but then you also need to look at sets that are being produced elsewhere in the world. You really got
to do your homework.
Okay.
When you're dealing with rookie cards, soccer.
It makes your rookie card checklist a lot more complicated than what a rookie card checklist in basketball or football might look like, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Learning a lot on this show. Hopefully the audience is as well. I'm sure they are. Let's talk about boxes, right? Yeah. So you're breaking a lot of boxes. I haven't yet seen soccer cards show up in a retail format. I don't recall walking into a Walmart and seeing soccer cards. Are they there? They're there. Okay, well I just haven't paid attention to them because I'm so focused on I go straight for basketball most of the time, and a little bit of football and baseball. Okay, so they are there. So you can they got retail releases of these sets.
And they have exclusive parallels for the retail.
Okay. In Walmart and Target?
Yes.
Okay, so there are retail. So there's retail boxes. Are they the similar types of like blaster boxes or hanger packs?
Yeah, fat packs.
Okay.
In the same as the other sports.
Well, shame on me for not noticing that.
They just might not have had them.
Well, maybe they did, or maybe they blended in with a Pokemon, and I just kind of was like, those are game cards, right?
I understand.
But and then are there local card shops? Are there hobby boxes?
Hobby's really the way to go.
Okay.
If you're really wanting to invest and get the most out of your money,
right.
It's going to be the hobby boxes. It just has the autographs, memorabilia, and obviously as you go higher end, your chances are better of hitting them.
Yeah, so it's not that much different than most sports. People tend to veer more towards hobby. There have been some releases where certain retail products have actually done really well. Like there's been a few releases where actually you get a little more bang for your buck with retail in other sports. But for the most part, generally people look towards hobby from an investment standpoint in most sports, and so the same seems to really hold true in soccer, especially soccer.
No, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Hobby is the way to go if you want the bang for your buck.
Okay. So and just like any of the other sports, I assume it's similar in terms of buying the boxes and ordering. Is it hard? Is the supply of soccer cards difficult right now, or is it more like basketball this year? It's like really impossible.
Nothing compared.
Nothing. So it's actually easier right now for dealers to get the soccer cards. There's enough being printed. Supply is still at or above demand right now.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just in the start. So
it's just in its start, right? Yeah. So it's actually easy to get boxes.
Yes.
But what's interesting is if you look at, like, for example, basketball, it was actually easy to get basketball sets for the local card shops and that type of thing. It was easy for them to get the sets, 5 or 6 or 7 years ago. They weren't having trouble getting supply of Prism or anything like that. It was easy. Today, those same boxes have gone up so much that, everyone is kicking, all the local card shop owners are kicking themselves for not having ordered more back 5 years ago and having just stockpiled it, because, you could have had Giannis's rookie year, for example, those boxes would be worth a ton today, and they were able, the card shops could have gotten more, but of course just wasn't as popular back then.
Correct.
Wonder if we're seeing the same thing with soccer right now, where it's like, does it make sense to be thinking about buying boxes, stockpiling boxes? I guess it's possible to do, but of course we don't know, because it depends what happens with the market over the next several years.
Correct. Yeah, and if I think if the economy and the market keeps pace the way it is. I think these first year boxes and stuff are going to be highly sought after. If it matures up like the other sports have, you're going to see boxes that are going to kind of skyrocket up, I feel.
Yeah. What do you see? One thing that always makes me a little bit nervous about buying older wax or even holding on to wax for too long is redemption cards. Because redemption cards expire.
Yes.
And so, and if there's like a really, really key player where his autos are all redemption, then that can actually affect. In soccer, when you've been opening up recent boxes, what is the redemption ratio? Are you seeing a lot of redemption? Is redemption not that common?
I would say no. I don't think it's that common. They do a pretty good job. Now you do have one or two every set that they come out with, but it's always specific and isolated. It's that player's doing something, or he's out of town, or he's off on vacation for the month, or whatever, and that will delay it, and so they'll have to put the redemption in there.
So not enough to necessarily affect the price of the boxes.
So.
Over time. Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Now Nor is a set. Nor we mentioned earlier. As a set, Lionel Messi's card in that set is a redemption, and it expired, I think, last year.
Okay.
Now I have known of people where they have fulfilled these redemptions,
even though they're expired.
Now, and also too, I think a reason why they do is because the set is so significant within the hobby and in the soccer world. So I think they feel like, well, we're going to have to hold on to these because somebody's going to break, North Soccer,
right.
and they're going to pull a Messi.
Oh my God, you'd be devastated.
Yeah,
and then Panini's like, it's expired.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, you hit the the $5,000 spotlight, and you can't redeem it. Then it's pretty bad.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about investing strategy when it comes to soccer.
Investing, my recommendation is just, again, like I said earlier, is the rookies. Rookies, and also to Messi and Ronaldo. You really got to know your stuff when it comes to soccer. You got to know your prospects. You really got to read up on it and know what you're doing.
Right.
If you don't, then I don't think you'll have the foresight to really to see it.
Yeah. So it's not unlike any other sport. If you want to invest in baseball prospects, you've got to do your homework on these guys because or basketball, what rookies are worth investing in. Who aren't named Zion this year, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just as far as investing, you want to really look at the high end does really well, but again, the first year sets. And also to the first year autos, first cards, and also the rookies. The rookies is significant, and from an investment standpoint, condition. Condition is everything.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about that. So grading, obviously in the other sports, is really significant. And as an investor, I mainly buy graded cards. I'm mainly looking for a PSA 10, BGS 9.5 or above.
Yeah.
Same apply in soccer?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, grading is that's everybody wants the highest grade possible, obviously because it's the most valuable.
Yeah.
But yeah, grading is just really significant in soccer.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'm taking away from the conversation today is that other than the players being different, and other than there being obviously a lot more teams, a lot more clubs, a lot more leagues to kind of be able to understand the landscape, the actual mechanics of investing in soccer cards is similar to the other sports.
Absolutely.
And that rookie cards rule, grading's important, refractors are important. A lot of the sets in America are similar types of sets in scale and importance.
Yes.
On-card autos are important. I mean, a lot of the same fundamentals apply.
Yes.
We're just dealing with different players, different teams, different leagues, and that part of it is more complicated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because of just the worldwide nature of the game and the number of clubs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And from an investor standpoint, it's unique because, like we've mentioned, soccer's in its infancy. It's just starting. So you have cards of teams that that are going to come out in the future that will be their first cards for that team. Will be first cards for those players. So there's a lot of opportunity within the soccer world.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's interesting. So I was going to ask kind of differences in your opinion between soccer and the other sports. That's a big one, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you have hundreds of soccer teams and hundreds of countries. I mean, so it's all over the world, and every country, every team has their own roster. So it's huge. I mean, when you talk about it in comparison to other sports.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, that's fascinating. How did you, it sounded like from your intro, you were talking a little bit about, it sounds like you're a fan of Argentina's team, obviously you're a fan of Messi. So were you just a soccer fan, and that's what drove you into card collecting and soccer to begin with?
Well, actually, my mom actually used to bring me in Joe's card shop when I was small, when I was 5 years old. So I've had a deep passion for collecting cards since I was little. And I got back in it in 03, 04 when LeBron came in. But yeah, I mean, it's, as far as, I mean, it's,
soccer's always just been something that cards in general, all sports, something you've collected, but soccer's.
But soccer, I really honed in 200014, like I said, because I just love soccer.
Yeah. You watch a lot of international games, and
yes. Yeah. And honestly, I kind of got burnt out on the American sports.
Right.
And I was looking for something different, and I just developed a deep passion for soccer, and also to the community. The community's great. It's unlike any other.
Talk to me about that. And you're talking about like through your Facebook group and.
Yeah, the community's amazing. It's been an honor to be a part of it, and just it seems like it's a very honest group of people. And if you're in the soccer world, and you're a pretty good chance you've done a deal with me, or know of me, or so, it's been incredible. It's been incredible. I can't.
So it's a welcoming world. So for those of you out there who are curious about soccer, wanting to maybe get a little bit more into it, how would you recommend people start?
Just get in the groups, find people with common interests.
And in groups, you mean Facebook groups?
Facebook
great place
groups
to go.
particularly is what I'm speaking of. That's what really helped me. Again, you just got to get in there, start to build relationships.
Right.
Get into the market, that community, the soccer community, and really start to just get to know people.
Yeah.
And it is very welcoming. It really is. Everybody knows everybody in the soccer community. It's truly great. I mean, I've been very blessed to be part of it.
Give everyone the name of your Facebook group again.
U.S. Soccer Breaks.
U.S. Soccer Breaks. So look that up on Facebook again. We'll put that in the show notes. That seems to be a really good place to start.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Austin, anything else you wanted to add? Anything else you think relevant for the audience today?
Well, just, as far as when it comes to investing, just know your stuff, read up on your stuff, really look at the market, and see what the market's doing. Like when I say that, eBay, closed listings,
sure.
So on and so forth. But and don't buy what you don't know. That's the big thing, and just really, watch the market. The market's the big key.
So let's say you've got somebody who doesn't know a lot about soccer, but they are eager to kind of get a little bit more into the sport, learn a little bit more, buy some cards. Would you recommend they start with like one league or one team? Like, for example, should I study up on the English Premier League, for example? Would that be a good place to start? Or?
I think a good place to start would be with what you like, and really find what team you want to support and what league you really like, because again, there's 5 top leagues. So you really got to.
And what are those?
You got League One.
Okay.
You got Serie A, which is the Italian. League One is the French. You got La Liga, which is Spain. The Premier League, which is Europe, and then Bundesliga, which is the German league.
Okay.
So those are the top 5 leagues, and
and those are all part of the Champions Cup. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, and also too, not just those either.
Right.
Pretty much all teams can qualify for the Champions League,
right,
if they've reached that certain level.
Right.
So that's another interesting thing about the Champions League.
Yeah.
And also too, the collecting, because you're going to continue to have new teams come into the tournament, new players come into the tournament. So it's going to be an interesting hobby over the next couple of years, I think.
Very cool.
So
good. Awesome. Well, I hope some of the viewers get inspired by this, get into it a little bit more. I hope you guys join U.S. Soccer Breaks. And you guys are breaking, how often per week now? You said?
Yeah, we're doing about 5-6 breaks a week.
Okay, awesome. And what times of the day or days of the week?
We see a lot of activity in the morning, kind of when Hong Kong Asia is going to sleep.
Okay, interesting. So because you got to really respect an international schedule. You've got a big audience here from all over the world.
Absolutely. And then at night is really when it really starts to crank up around 9 p.m.
Interesting.
And into the wee hours of the morning.
Wow. Very cool. Well, that would be a lot of fun to be part of one of these breaks and get that experience. I guess you got a lot of international people. Is everyone talking English, or do you?
Yeah, a lot of people. Believe it or not, they speak fluent English.
Yeah.
And it's been incredible just getting to know people and creating those relationships and being part of the soccer
all over the world.
All over the world.
That's a really cool aspect of it, right?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, to me, that is the most amazing thing about the soccer community. You just get to meet so many people and form these relationships with so many different people from all over the world.
Yeah.
It's truly incredible. It
awesome.
really is. So.
Austin, this has been wonderful. I'm sure everyone has loved. I've learned a lot from this episode. I didn't know a ton about soccer cards, and I'm excited to dive in more. And these are some beautiful cards. So I hope I can be the owner of some of these someday.
Oh yeah, thank you, Jeff.
Austin, thank you so much. For sure.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that interview with Austin Brown as much as I did. Please go to his Facebook group, U.S. Soccer Breaks. Join his Facebook group so you can learn about upcoming breaks that he's doing. And don't forget to check out that article on my website by Patrick Neely, The Case for Soccer Cards. It is a great complement to everything you just heard. So go to sportscardinvestor.com right now, sportscardinvestor.com, and look at that article by Patrick Neely. And of course, go to my Discord chat server, to the Soccer Card channel, to continue to talk about what you learn, to ask questions. There are people in that Discord chat server who really know soccer cards and want to talk soccer cards with you. So go to my Discord chat server. The link to my Discord chat server is in my website, sportscardinvestor.com, right on the main menu bar. By the way, I will also put a link to Austin Brown's Facebook group, US Soccer Breaks, in the show notes of today's episode as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Sports Card Investor. Make sure to subscribe.